My name is Troy Derrick, and I'm a financial advisor with Providence Wealth Planning. Today, we'll be talking about a very powerful strategy for your retirement, Roth Conversions. Now, Roth Conversions are very powerful because they give you the potential for tax-free growth in the future. People often overlook the potential tax expenses in retirement, and converting some or all of your retirement accounts into a Roth account might help resolve that potential tax liability later on in retirement. So how does this all work? Well, essentially, you move funds from your tax deferred accounts. Basically, you're moving your IRA account into a Roth IRA. And the amount that's converted is taxed as ordinary income for that current year. But from that point on, all the growth is tax-free, assuming you don't take any early distributions or anything like that. Now, depending on your scenario, it might make sense to do an entire Roth conversion all at once, or it might make sense to spread it out over a period of time. Perhaps you just convert enough that kind of keeps your tax liability at a reasonable amount. You also don't have to do the entire account. You can pick and choose how much you want to convert. So let's think of this as an example. Imagine I have a traditional IRA worth $500,000 and I convert $50,000 of it into a Roth IRA each year for 10 years. Now, obviously, it may be more or less depending on investments and market fluctuations and all that. But essentially, for 10 years, I'd have an additional $50,000 of income each year that I would be responsible for on my taxes. Now, I know this doesn't sound great in the year that you take on an additional $50,000 of income or whatever that amount would be, but imagine it as you're taking kind of that upfront hit for tax-free growth for forever. And a little bit of pain up front can essentially make a huge difference in the long term. There are also some potential overlooked benefits with having, just in general, more funds within a Roth account. I'm quickly going to talk about 3 of those benefits. The first one is you're potentially going to be paying a lower tax rate today than in the future. Obviously, we don't know where tax rates will go, but historically speaking, tax rates are currently lower than where they've been. And if tax rates go higher in the future, you'd be paying a lower tax rate today on your accounts than in the future without even thinking about the growth on the account. The second overlooked benefit is that you might be able to lower or even remove required minimum distributions on a traditional IRA account. You may or may not know that with that traditional IRA, you're going to hit a point where you're required to start taking funds out of the account every year and paying taxes, regardless of whether you need that money or not. With a Roth IRA, that's not the case. You have the ability to take it out if you want. And again, it's tax-free, but essentially it allows you to keep more funds invested, growing tax-free. Along those lines, the third overlooked advantage is that a Roth IRA in general is typically better for passing on an inheritance to your loved one. With a traditional IRA, the account must be depleted within 10 years for any non-spouse beneficiary. So for example, if I pass away and my kids inherit my IRA, they're going to be required to deplete that account within 10 years and pay the taxes as they take out those funds. According to the CDC National Center of Health Statistics, as of 2022, the average life expectancy in the US is 77 years old, which means that frequently children in their 40s and 50s are inheriting these accounts, which a lot of times is in their prime earning years. So it's a really unfortunate time to have to start paying taxes on these funds where you could be passing it on in a little bit more tax-friendly or tax-efficient way if you did a conversion into a Roth. So overall, a Roth conversion may be a great strategy to manage your future tax liability and potentially maximize your retirement savings. As always, not every scenario is going to be suitable for a Roth conversion, so be sure to consult with your tax professional before you do anything. And don't hesitate to reach out to me if you ever want to discuss this in more detail.